Infi leading 2-1. And this time it's not gonna be some crazy Fire Lord shenanigans. Unless he messes, of course, unless he messes with his opponent. Faking the normal hero and then going for the Fire Lord. Because after all, Infi did this against Fly on Ancient Isles and it worked. And again it worked on Turtle Rock when, Yumiko did it against Fly on Ancient Isles, excuse me. And Infi just made it happen as well. But it seems to be the more standard Archmage. But that of course does not mean that there's not gonna be any tower rushes. Just not as much of a crazy commitment as with a tier 1 Fire Lord. Fly with his back against the wall now. He loses this map, he is out of NWL, out of the running for quite a bit of prize money. Is he gonna feel the pressure again? Is he gonna fall to his own worst enemy, to himself? Is he gonna become inconsistent again? Is he gonna be playing worse than he usually can? Map number 1, he looked very strong. Pretty easily taking it. Also, Infi making huge mistakes there. But after that, Infi bounced back. He is still World Championship material. He does not easily get dissuaded. This time he's scouting this. He may not be scouting with a peon, but he's scouting in the middle in case of neutral hero. Sees nothing there, so most likely it's going to be Archmage, most likely he's going to be here, and yeah, he's right. But he might be right, but he is too late to do anything about this. Creep camp taken, clause of attack, that's a nice item right away. And Infi, oftentimes we see him getting level 2 quickly and then harassing the Orc base right away. And this time it was not a 1 borrowed tech, by the way, so he may have better chances to cancel tier 2 buildings with a Beastmaster, should he decide to get it. And yeah, we see tier 2 coming in, and the lumber mill. Of course, if he goes for a tower rush with a lumber mill, it's only gonna be on tier 2, not before. But getting the lumber mill now means you have a lot easier time collecting the lumber, obviously. Nice block here coming out against the Archmage. Boots of speed are not yet available, but will be soon. And if the Archmage wants to go down here to the shop, the Blade Master could potentially be faster to the boots, thanks to Windwalk, of course. And now, is he going to use it? He is, but it's going to be close. Ah, this is nice mind games. Infi was faking that he wanted to go for the boots. He sees the Windwalk and then he heads the other way. Fly has to go towards his own base again. Nice block coming out now, though. Archmage taking quite a few hits from this. Oh, and he might be blocked again if Fly pays attention. Not quite, though. And again, looks like he wants to go for the boots. Windwalk used. Archmage turns around. In the meantime, Footman and Water Elementals in the main, but there's one grunt here protecting. But this borrow should be cancelled. Oh, and he gets the boots. No, who gets the boots? Yeah. Blade Master got the boots, but the staff is on the Archmage, will not die. Will, however, take a lot of damage. 0 experience, by the way, on the blade. Also 0 damage taken. But 0 experience, of course, is a bit of a problem.
A player's forces are under attack.
Healing up now, hiding in a corner, cowering. But he will not be killed, he will not be found. Blade Master is busy with a Footman. Has gotten the boots of speed, so chasing down those Footmen fairly easy. But on level 1 doesn't have much damage, but gets 1. Will maybe get more up here. Grunts scouting, Grunts potentially blocking. But Archmage is coming out again. Just barely missing the scout here with this Grunt. Blade Master now out of position, something we rarely see from Fly. Usually his positioning in the early game especially is absolutely impeccable. Now he is distracting with these Footmen, so that the Archmage and the Fire Lord again can make their way into the main. He sold the TP. He got the ivory towers instead. He cancels the Spirit Lodge right away, getting the Shadow Hunter. And now the Blade Master arrives. But there are 4 grunts here, so this is quite the decent force. Reveal used right away, interestingly. First tower will quickly fall by the looks of it, but the Blade Master taking a lot of damage himself. Second tower also gonna go down. There's no catapult yet though. No catapult so far. No hex as well. No speed scroll to keep the grunts alive easily, but saves one, saves all of them for the time being. Defend, important, still far away. So many summons. Having Spirit Walkers would be huge, but he loses the Burrow. And he doesn't have a Raider yet. He started the End Snare first. And there's no new Burrows coming. There's no catapult. Blade Master almost dying actually. Shadow Hunter now coming out. Not being effective at all so far. The summon's still very healthy. He needs to repair the Burrow again. Fly being very late with the repair loses the next Burrow. Fly, what's going on today? Loses a grunt for, well, no apparent reason. I must say I'm a little bit disappointed here, Fly. This is not your best game. Not at all. 2 guard towers are up now. Shop as well, he's healing up, he's claritying up. Only has 3 grunts remaining. There's a speed scroll on him. Maybe trying to go for a hero focus. But heroes are full HP. There's no End Snare. The Archmage now in kind of a bad position. Almost surrounding himself there with the tower. But there's no ranged units. So if he engages with his grunts, he's going to be taking a ton of damage from these guard towers. And this time the big difference, no catapults. He's supply stuck for eternity. Serpent Ward. Seems like he was holding on to his spells, to his spell point for the longest time. Now he has Serpent Wards, but now the footmen have defend. Of course against the summons it's good. Losing another grunt. But of course grunts are not going to be the answer here against so many towers. Finally the first Demolisher coming. But this seems to be very late. Altar falls, but I guess if he loses a hero it's looking bad for him anyways. But the big thing is, where does he place the shop? Oh, it's still alive. Never mind. Shop is still alive, okay. The siege is beginning. Onto the stronghold. By the way, these towers standing right next to each other, so if he fires here, ground attack wise, he can damage them all. But the barracks already taking so much damage. He has to commit to defend his barracks. Finally he has a raider. But what good is that one raider gonna do? I think maybe cancelling the bestiary instead of the lodge, having a walker would have been better. Maybe. Barracks falls. Blade Master still only level 1. We saw Fly being so strong in tower defenses before by skipping out on the boots, getting the early war mill, the early, what's it called? Headhunters and Kodos. But it seems like he doesn't play that style anymore. By the way, the SH dies! And there's no more altar. Finally level 2 for the Blade Master. But this seems like it's too little too late. Second hero will not be coming back. Towers are shooting at the stronghold. I guess last game he had a really tough time dealing with the footmen, and for that the raiders are of course decent. I say raiders, but there's only one single raider. He's again trying to create some space in the back of the base for another barracks or another altar. He needs both, honestly. It's gonna be the barracks first. I wonder why he never gets the damage upgrade on the demolishers. He has more than enough resources. Maybe he thinks he needs the resources for repair. which is of course a reasonable thought. Loses another Burrow, so even if this barracks comes up, which I doubt, he's gonna be unable to produce anything from it. The grunts are just standing passively behind the stronghold, now committing. It seems like Fly thinks he must do something, he must achieve something, he must break out of this contain, but it's not possible anymore, man. It's too many towers. You can't defeat this anymore. And Infi looking very confident. He doesn't need to commit to the back of the base, but he does so anyways. Killing the tower, losing a few footmen, but what does it matter? The grunt's extremely low, the Blade Master as well. Just barely saving himself, but everything's so hurt. The summons keep coming, keep multiplying. Level 2 now on the Fire Lord. Blade Master just barely ahead in experience. Now level 3 for the Archmage, and look how quickly he skilled the level 2 Water Elemental, waiting for that moment. And now losing unit after unit, all the raiders are down, and so are the grunts. Only peons remaining and a single sad demolisher. Of course the Blade Master is still holding his ground, but I don't think it's gonna be the case for too much longer. He has a healing potion, yeah, but he can't deal with all of this himself. Not possible. The keep, stronghold I mean, dropping further and further and further. 20 hit points, 10 and down. Not yet. Mass Repair actually keeps it alive, surprisingly, despite all the damage coming in. But very expensive. Very, very expensive for Fly. Only about 100 gold remaining. And once that is gone, it's gonna be curtains for the world champion. He's gonna be dropping out with this. GG! Infi again. Making use of his not so secret but very effective weapon, which is the Tower Rush. And he takes it. 3-1. Fly being very impressive in game number 1, but then again falling off. And at least to me, being a little bit disappointing. I was expecting more from him. He was the master of the tower defense, the tower rush defense. But today didn't seem so strong. Not really.